Hey guys, thanks for tuning into one of my videos. I'm doing something pretty fun today. I can no longer do it on Instagram Live, so this is a hard pitch to tell a friend to follow my Instagram account so I can get 1,000 and then I can do live videos again. Please, don't have to, whatever. But appreciate you tuning in for now anyways. I was doing something today that's really exciting, really fun, that guitar builders or any woodworkers sort of enjoy the most, or one of the things we enjoy the most is taking timber from raw slab to actually going to components of what we're building, in my case guitars. I've endeavored upon some build shops. Some of you guys are familiar with the guitar build shops that we run here, and 2 classical guitar build shops. And we're starting out in October, but before then we just I got to process some timbers and get them ready to be used. And I have a few. And I was going through the timber that I was using, to the point of the video, and thinking, talked about different timbers and what you do with them and all the guitar-y stuff. Thought about talk about the wood specifically because it occurred to me after I was processing the timber for the braces that I have 4 distinctly unique smelling timbers in this guitar. So Lord knows what it'll smell like after it's all done and shellacked, but there are 4 very distinct smelling timbers that are going into this guitar, and I thought that's a lot. Usually there's 1 or 2, but I don't always have 4 that are going into the same guitar. So let's talk about them, the smell of timber. I'm going to describe it to you a little bit, probably not going to go too much into detail about the smell because it's hard to describe, but if you all feel like coming down to Binford Lutherie and smelling my timber, you're very welcome to. So the first I'm going to talk about is yellow cedar. I have some yellow cedar that I've had for a long time in this random board. Must come from Alaska because I think it grows quite a lot up there. I wasn't in a place that had trees at all. I was in Nome, Alaska, long ways from anywhere. But I was in Alaska and must have acquired this board somehow, somewhere. And you can see the color of it. It's quite yellow. And it was a flat sawn board. So the growth rings go this way, kind of that way. And I was just processing it a bit into these random shapes and chunks so I can get more quarter sawn. Because when you're building classical guitars, like the one in the plans that you can see beneath here, you need vertical braces, so the vertical oriented braces. So you need the growth rings to be standing upright, because it's kind of like, it's the strength of the piece of timber. So you have to use more timber if it's not cut correctly, and we want to use as little timber as possible. So we need strong bits to use. So I was just hacking this stuff, and it's been a long time since I've processed any yellow cedar. And I thought, oh, that's right, yellow cedar. Then I went to the next timber. I was like, oh, that one smells too. So I've got this one all chunked out. I'm going to take it further and cut it into the strips. These will be all the fan braces for the classical guitar because it is a very high quality stock, and there's a ring to it. I'm not sure if you can hear that, but through my headphones. But it's like a drip of water is what it sounds like in the sink or something. Bling, bling. Smells great. Sounds really good. Really excited to be working with it. And it's like we get a little bit weird about our timbers when we collect them through the years. This is like my select stock of something that I plan to use for a while. It'll just be a good timber to use for a nylon string guitar. I wouldn't use it for a steel string in this case. Maybe a smaller bodied steel string, depending on what I was building. But smells good, looks good. It's going to work amazingly for what we're doing. Moving on to the next timber, because we're already at 4 minutes. So yellow cedar was number 1. This is Spanish cedar. It's more like mahogany, to be honest, and it's not cedar, and it's not really Spanish, apparently, and I've got a pretty good stock of it, and it's really great for necks. It's used for two things: cigar humidors and guitars. They use it for even backs and sides because it's like a mahogany, but a lot of people use it for the necks, which is what I'm going to be using it for, because I have good cuts of it, wide enough for classical guitar necks, because as a lot of you will know, classical guitars are wider than your steel string. They have bigger strings and they're spaced accordingly. So I think they're about 62 mils width, according to the plan there, at the widest part, or maybe even a little bit wider. Anyhow, good bit of Spanish cedar. Smells interesting. I like the smell. However, the side effect to that, the other side of that coin, the smell, is the taste. And once you process it, if you're not wearing a mask, which you always need to, you will, everything that you get on your hands even, and you're going to eat dinner later, you wash your hands. If you don't wash them really well, you will taste Spanish cedar, and it's not a pleasant taste. It's kind of bitter and astringent. I think, from memory, what astringent? Yeah, it's not a great flavor. So don't eat it. Yeah, but use it for your guitar necks if you so desire. This is, once again, a reserve stock. It's the best to be using for really high-end classical guitar necks, which is what these are going into. Moving on to the next bit. This is Western Red Cedar. It's great for guitar tops, and boy oh boy does it smell great. I love Western Red Cedar. It has a real campfire smell to it, or something. I'm not sure. It's really good, and this is good quality. It's pretty high grade. It's getting rarer and rarer to find even your cedar high graded tops now, sadly. But it's a good bit of timber, and it's going to make a really good top. It's like one of the strongest woods in the world for its weight, because it's so light. It's incredibly lightweight, and it's very rigid. It's not the strongest timber in the world, obviously, but for its weight, it's far above many others. And it also has a really good cell structure to be using for acoustic guitars. So you can hear resonance like a plate, like a ceramic plate or something when you touch it, and you have a really good boom that lasts a long time when you work with it. You leave it a little bit thicker than you do other species of tops, like your Sitka spruce. You can thin that down a bit more. Your cedars, your Western Red Cedar, you leave it a little thicker because, once again, it's very light, and so you can. Sometimes you need to, because it's very flexible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pair this yellow cedar with this Western Red Cedar. Very rigid, very strong braces, very bright, and good, all glued onto the Western Red Cedar to make a really good, crisp sounding soundboard for a classical guitar with a Spanish cedar neck. That's 3 of the 4 timbers. Last timber that I'll be talking about is rosewood. I couldn't leave it out. It's probably going to be the back and sides for this guitar. I imagine it will for this one, or one of the ones that are being built. Rosewood smells like roses. I think it does anyway. Some people say it doesn't, and it's very good stuff. This is Indian rosewood, so it's pretty decent. Some people won't use it over their Brazilian if they can get it. But yeah, it's a lovely piece here. It's got a little bit of run out, so you can be clever the way that you cut it and orient it and make a very beautiful looking sounding classical guitar back. It's oily, very oily, and so it's heavy. But it's amazing how good of a sound you can get out of a heavy timber such as Indian rosewood even. So these are very rough processed. And at 9 minutes, just shy of 10, we shall turn you off and say, please follow me on Instagram. And very excited about these builds. And we'll get going with them in October. Maybe I'll try to talk about them as we go on in the future. Yeah, the smell of wood. Drop by Binford Lutherie and have a sniff. I will be away from the end of this month until mid-September. So for anybody that's looking at stopping by for any other reasons, just say hello. I will be gone during that time. Alrighty. Thanks for tuning in, guys. See ya.